lava lamps, waterbeds, party poopers, all this week on Jim Joe Steve Show.
Here's a story about 20 years ago. Three bros who grew up in Baltimore to the beach show. Every summer they had to go before they got married with kids. Now they all grown. Long trips to New York and Toronto. Playing beer pong with Captain Morgan's free throws. And if you don't know, now you know. Coming in hot, Jim Joe Steve Show.
Hello and welcome back to Jim Joe Steve Show, episode number 428. I'm here with my two buddies, Jim.
How's it going, guys?
Doing well, bud. Steve?
Hello. I like to wait till you say my name.
I know. I just looked.
Oh,
like you would in person. Like, hey, how's it going? I gave you the what's up eyes,
He
the
just walked
eyebrows.
through the door.
Like, yeah. Like, I'm excited to see
Hey,
you.
what's up, guys?
Can we hug?
Yeah.
All right. So, we're back with another episode. We got some new beers tonight. We got some new stuff to talk about.
I see that you have been very excited to let us try this beer.
Dude, this is, no joke, the best beer I ever had. I had it a couple weeks ago at my buddy Jim's house. Not you.
Oh,
I would have hoped you would have remembered.
you have other friends besides
It's
us?
gonna be another. It's gonna be a plug for something.
God.
It's not going to be a plug.
Him and his kids needed to shout out. Go ahead.
Esmeralda, Isabella,
All right, my buddy, we will call him...
Flim.
What do you call him?
Flim.
Yeah, we'll call him Flim. I was over at Flim's house, and we were sitting out front, and he, offered me a beer, and
He said, "What the hell is this?"
what is this heaven you just gave me? He knows that I like that Astrodon, that stuff that I give you guys for Christmas, and he was like,
Which is a
"Have
good
this
beer.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Very good.
And so he gave me this, and this is Fractal Citra by Equilibrium. I don't know if Citra's in the name. Citra is the kind of hops they use, but it's the smoothest beer I've ever
And
had.
Joe didn't want to get all beer nerd on us.
God, it was just. It was going that way, wasn't it?
That's me holding back.
I was
He
going to say,
just
that
said
almost
the
sounded
hops.
rehearsed.
Well, Citra is a kind of hops, and it says Citra right under Fractal, so I wasn't sure if Citra was part of the name or Fractal was just the beer.
And Steve, it's always good for Joe to bring us a beer that no one in the world can buy.
Like the label on this beer looks like I put on that bottle of champagne with a glue stick. Like
all the craft beers are doing those labels instead of printing it onto the can.
I can't do it. I'm not a big IPA fan.
Well,
It makes my face. Oh, it makes my face hurt every single time I take a sip. I mean, I'll drink them, but they're not good. They're not my favorite.
I mean, I like it,
I'm glad.
but I like the honesty, Steve,
Yeah.
because I felt like
Oh,
maybe
Flim, not to poo poo on your beer.
But next time, bring Steve some seltzers.
Bring
Give
him
Steve
a-
a high noon.
a nice Schlitz.
I've actually never had a high noon.
Oh, the nooners are awesome.
I can go upstairs and get you one.
Really?
Those are
are
the
they,
best.
Are they good?
Yeah,
But
They
my-
come in
that-
4-packs, don't they?
they do.
That's all my
expensive
that's all my wife
shit.
drinks. Is high noon.
Yeah,
High noon.
Nothing but class
peach
in the-
or mango.
Really?
I like the pineapple. Pineapple's my favorite.
I've
the
had
watermelon's
pineapple.
good too.
See, I'm not a big seltzer guy, but I'll drink it. But it's a little too dry.
You know what they're really? You know places they're really good to drink? Out on the boat. I mean, it's hot. You're sweating, and you're just jumping in and out of the water. You just want something refreshing.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I always think about when I go out on a boat or a friend's boat, and I'm sitting there and the sun's blazing. I just want to drink a heavy ass IPA and make this face that sound. And then that you can make the face right now if I make this sound. You know exactly what face it is.
And at the end of the episode, we'll get Jim to take a picture of that face Steve's making. We'll post it to our Twitter, and that's all we're going to talk about.
Jim Joe Steve Show.
Yeah. and actually, I like our Facebook page a little bit more. I'm just going to say that.
You are partial to the Facebook page.
But either one will be updated always.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring the listeners a little bit and kind of give them an idea of the setting that we're in. And Jim's made a nice little area in his basement. He's got a nice little round table. We're on a carpet. We've got some nice stuff hanging on the walls. We've got like this wooden American flag that's pretty cool.
That I made.
Did you make that?
Yep.
Oh, nice. That's pretty awesome.
Nice.
and this big picture of blue smoke that he had hanging in the house that we lived in.
He hangs it in every house he sells.
I know.
It has made me so much money.
So Jim's in the real estate business and sells houses and rents houses. If you're looking for a place to buy or rent, go. No, and
I keep that separate.
and so he's got that, and then he's got this lava lamp that I like to just kind of stare at sometimes.
Jim has a big thing with lava lamps.
He does. He's got how many? I mean, 100 lava lamps, not 100.
19.
19.
19 lava
Which
lamps.
is 18 more lava lamps than one person should have.
I had a frequent buyer's card at Spencer's.
So remember at our old house, they were displayed
In the living room, right?
In the living room, right? Like we had these big, not like they weren't built-ins, but they looked like built-ins with like shelves and like TV and everything was in it, and all these just lava lamps just surrounding everything. And I remember the first party that we had, like people walked in there, like into the house. And it was a nice house, and we were young. Like it was a cool house for young people to live in. And like they walked in, and they were like, "Oh man, look at all these lava lamps."
Well, we also had a disco ball in the living room. So
Dude, I forgot about that.
Was it in the living room by the lava lamps? Was there a TV?
yes.
Yeah.
It was like the first, people with those ambient lights behind their TV. You guys were ahead of the curve,
Yep,
kind of.
yep.
Multicolored ambient light.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
I totally forgot about the disco ball.
Oh, that was key for the parties. I mean, shit. But do you remember the lesbian poster we had in the living room?
No.
It was like, I don't know, it was like a tasteful, like
Was it from IKEA?
well, it was probably from Spencer's.
Okay.
God damn it. Decorated by Spencer's.
Yes.
I thought we're not doing plugs.
Yeah, I know, right?
Spencer's still open.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I was just in Spencer's this week.
Why?
I haven't been into Spencer's in probably 2 decades, but we went up to like Hartford Mall or something for something, and they had a Spencer's, and I'm like, well, you can't
see what kind of stuff they're
I mean, they
pushing
only had
now.
about
Did you
6 stores.
Did you
in the
take
whole
Carter
mall.
into the back of the Spencer's and
No,
be like,
but I
one day,
didn't-
boy?
I didn't know that Spencer's have turned into that, and
Turned into what?
it is an adult novelty store.
Oh, really?
The
wasn't
ba-
that
the
kind of
Spencer's
what
always
But
was?
it had a little section before, but it now has the back half of the store.
You're right. It did have like a little corner where,
Right.
yeah,
Where you could get like
fuzzy
funny-
handcuffs.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah.
this was
Edible underwear.
this had it. Yeah, it had,
They got plugs for every hole now.
it was basically an adult novelty shop in the back, and then in the front was just an anime, like T-shirts and
They
random
gotta
crap.
adopt with the times, I
Like
guess.
that's pretty much all it was.
The one that used to be in White Marsh Mall, I used to go to the malls like every Friday and Saturday.
Everyone
I think
did.
everybody did. Like at our age, would go to the mall on Friday, and it was always cool when you had friends that worked in the mall. At one point in time, I had a friend that worked in almost every single store, and I remember one time going into Spencer's. And this guy Chad worked there. We called him Earth Tone Chad because he was colorblind. So he only wore like blue shirt, like the same shirt, but it was always those like muted colors. So we would call him Earth Tone Chad, and he would work there. He worked there one time, and he went in and we saw his manager was there, and his manager's like, "I'm going out to lunch. I'll see you later. You got run the store while I'm gone." And I just happened to be in there at this time, and the guy walked out, and Chad turned around to like me and all my friends, was like, "Take whatever you want, just take it." We took like a fog machine.
I always wanted a fog machine. It's one purchase I never I
hey,
missed that window. But
There's still time.
maybe.
Oh
Never too young for a
Yeah,
fog
we
machine.
just took a whole bunch of shit, and he's like, "Here's a bag, just go." And then
he even gave you a bag.
yeah, he gave us a
looked
bag, so
legit.
it looks legit. You're walking with
Not
the bag
like you were
that
just
you're holding
looting
with
the
2
store.
hands together because you're stealing so much stuff. Yeah, Earthturn. I don't think Earthturn Chad worked there that long.
You don't say. Yep, I got most of my lava lamp. So when you're growing up, whenever you have more than one thing, family members don't exactly know what to get you for your birthday or Christmas. So they're like, "Oh, you collect lava lamps, don't you?" So that was just the easy gift.
Holy shit!
People would just give me lava lamps.
Were you happy to receive
Yes,
them?
yeah. But my room.
You had like a couple like vintage ones, didn't you?
Well, that was where I got turned on to lava lamps because my grandparents watched me a lot, and in their basement they had one of the original lava lamps. So it was like a thing. When
Did they have that sit next to the fishbowl for their key parties?
Yeah, it was just like in a corner, or whatever.
God, think
But
how
every time
hot that fucking thing got.
Whenever I would
the
go
first
over,
lava lamp,
Oh, yeah.
it probably was
There's
scalding.
probably like radiation involved.
I don't think the technology in lava lamps.
It's
changed.
exactly the same.
It's just a light bulb.
It's like painting walls. Painting walls has probably been the same for hundreds of years.
paint.
Yeah, just paint,
Paint.
on a wall with a
Paintbrush.
paintbrush. But then,
So yeah, so that was whenever I would go over there, they would turn on. But anyway, so I ended up collecting about 19 of them in my room. I had 19, and then when Nicole and I moved in, then they had to go in my room because we had separate bedrooms.
Right, I remember.
So I had them all in my room.
why did you guys have separate bedrooms? Is it just like before marriage you have?
No, she was a teacher and she got up early. I mean, that's what you told me.
So when
That's the lie you told me, Jim.
So we moved in when we were dating for about 6 months. Drew pretty much kicked me out of his house. Not really, but he wanted to move on. So I was like, okay, and her lease was up. So it didn't make sense.
It was just a time.
Yeah,
timing
I mean, it
where-
was probably, if you ask her and me, it might have been too soon given the other circumstances, but it just made sense. So we were like, all right. And the apartment that we got was 2 bedrooms. Sierra had all her bedroom stuff, and I had all my bedroom stuff. So we just moved into our own rooms, and that was.
Do you want to spend the night over my room?
We
tonight?
did.
You had date nights in each other's rooms.
Kind of. We because she got up a lot earlier than I did, so she, it was easier for her. But I would go over to her room, and we would watch Lizzie McGuire and SpongeBob, oddly. And then I was like,
really weird.
all right,
I'm going to go back to my room.
I'm
now.
going to bed. And then sometimes she would sleep in my room, and then sometimes sleep in her room. And
Did you ever get to where you wanted her to stay in your room, but she left and went, or vice versa, where she was like, "You're gonna stay over," and you're like, "I'm gonna go to my bed."
Yeah, I guess one of us pissed at each other. But
Did you have the waterbed then?
yes. So,
Lava lamps and
God
waterbeds.
damn it! It is like the 70s. All you have shag carpet.
On the walls.
shag carpet. No. I mean, actually, the apartment that we rented had shag carpet, but only by accident because it was old.
Waterbeds are the worst thing. I just remember my dad's friend that lived with us. He had a waterbed, and it was like the heaviest. It was just because it's filled with water, but
you don't move it when it has water.
it's
in it.
just it was just so. I was like, this is just the weirdest thing in the entire world.
Yeah, I don't know if I've actually ever slept on a waterbed. Like, I remember, I mean, somebody had one when I was a kid, and I jumped on it or sat on it or something, but I don't know if I ever actually slept on
They're
it.
not very practical. And
Are they good for your back?
I don't know, but you know what? They have heaters in them, so that was kind of cool. So because you would heat the water up, and that was nice.
Just sounds so dangerous. You have hot lava lamps sitting there, hot beds.
It popped on. So I had a German Shepherd growing up, and he or she, forget the timing, but jumped on the bed and popped it. But you don't know it pops, right? Because it's not like it just gushes out. And I had like 4 or 5 blankets on it, so it wouldn't wave as much.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know it popped, and it was right before I went to bed. So I went to bed, and I woke up probably
Drowning.
I was drowning. I was covered probably
like
3/4 of my body underwater.
Oh, my God.
Jim
I
was
went to turn-
basically like Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
when he's getting sucked into
when-
the bed.
When I saw that movie, it reminded me of that. And so of course it's like the worst thing in the world when you have to wake up and you're drenched, like literally drenched, and then
Because you had a swimming pool. In your...
a swimming pool, and my entire carpet was just drenched.
They don't insulate waterbeds, so they're waterproof in the section that holds the bed.
There is a mat, yes, but no, because it didn't work.
Right.
And because it's made out of wood, and then you have this just like a little, it's almost
like a
a
liner.
It's a liner thing.
Yeah, it's like the tray underwater water heaters you have in your house. They're like, let's just put a tray in there. That'll catch all the water.
Right. And so the first week I got a waterbed, I did not sleep in my bed.
Did you have to go knocking on her bed and be like, I need to stay over here a couple nights because
Oh no, I had a waterbed when I was like 11.
Oh.
So by the time I moved out, it was the only bed I'd ever known.
Did you ask your dad for a waterbed and he got you one, or this was like a hand me down?
I asked for one, and because he had a waterbed, and so I just grew up with waterbeds. I don't
That was
know.
the lifestyle.
I think my dad still has a waterbed.
Get out of here.
How often do you think you need to change the water in a waterbed?
Never.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sealed.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, makes
But
sense to
they're-
me. Sold.
they're highly impractical, and I don't recommend them. So there's that. Anyway, so we got a now, yeah.
That is
Every time I moved, I was allowed less and less lava lamps to be displayed for public consumption.
So was the house that I lived in with you, was that at the peak? Was that the peak of display?
there were a lot of lava lamps.
There were.
Or did you have a practical place where
I
you're
think
like, these
that
look good?
I think that we had 8,
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
No.
more than that.
I think it was definitely more
Okay,
than
so
that.
well, it was
I know what? I think it was like 8 on each side.
okay, so I might add 16.
Yeah.
Okay, and then when I so now I've moved 2 or 3 times since then, maybe more, and now I have one
in the basement.
In the basement.
That is funny. Will you ever get rid of lava lamps completely from your life?
No, I still dig them. I still think I like to look at them. I mean, they calm me down, and they're colorful. I like color, and I got the rest of them behind you guys.
So you sometimes just open up the box.
But here's the problem with lava lamps. They need everything's going LED.
Right, you need an old school
You
bulb
need-
that gets
and
hot.
they're getting harder. The 40-watt bulb is getting harder to
You
find.
need to stockpile them.
Well, I did buy.
Guess what? It's time to
Couple-
update this technology for lava lamps.
Well, they don't even really sell lava lamps that much anymore. They're all like the glitters,
Oh,
and
yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so they're selling
like
less and less.
like a snow globe, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so Hamburg was my last house that I had free range of decorating, which was that picture, which I have been offered. I guess I'll post it on Twitter.
Well, you
But
have to now because
I've been offered over $1,500
Are you serious?
For
Did
that.
you get that at IKEA?
for like $150.
Wow, it's a big ass picture.
it's a
some
blue
smoke.
It's just like
It's
blue
not smoke.
It's not?
It's
It's like
a
ink
dye-
or something.
a
Dye.
yeah,
Okay.
in water. It
Nice.
just it's gorgeous.
This is
It's
a great
Great visual.
So much visuals in this audio product.
But my most vivid memory of Hamburg is our first party that we ever had.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that party. I remember. So Jim bought this house and fixed it up, and I moved in there and like lived there by myself for like a month while Jim and Nicole were like getting their stuff situated to move in.
I think the house was still being renovated a little bit, or were you?
Yeah, you might have been like working on stuff
But
upstairs.
you had to get out of your rental or something.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Our lease was up at my place that I was at with my other buddies. And I moved in, and then you guys moved in, and then we had that party. And I remember we had that party, and I was like, "This is going to be a fun time."
Oh, it was. But that party, I don't know if we have time to get into everything, but it was named the poop
The
party
poop party.
because there were 3 separate poop incidences at one house party. The party wasn't even really. It maybe like the 5 or 6 people, or maybe more or less, but it wasn't really kicking off. The music wasn't even on yet.
Right.
I remember.
someone's like, I know how to turn this up. I'm gonna turn this bitch up.
So one of your friends was who? Do you remember?
I think it was Jesse.
Okay. Yeah, it was Jesse. Yeah.
Do you know the pooper?
Oh yeah.
There's
I think there's only one mystery pooper out of the 3.
there's 2 mystery poopers.
Oh, okay. So we only know about Jesse.
Yeah.
So there's 5 people there, and you're 2 of them. And I'm assuming Nicole's.
Well, more people showed up later.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't like officially started. You know how it's just like a couple of people trickle in.
Yeah.
So Jesse,
The beginning
once
of a party.
I guess he had to poop, so he asked, "Hey, can I use your bathroom?" I said, "Yeah," and I pointed to your bathroom, which is downstairs on the first level where everybody would be
It
partying.
was right by the kitchen, wasn't it?
Off
Yeah.
off the
Yeah.
and he said, "Do you have a bathroom upstairs?" And I said, "Yeah, right at the top of the steps." And about 15 minutes later, he comes down in a full sweat and goes, "Hey, man, you got any Windex or some paper towels I can borrow?"
Holy shit.
And I thought it was odd, but I was kind of just setting up for the party, and it was my first official party. So I was just like, yeah, man, here's some paper towels and I don't know, some cleaner. And I went back to doing what I was doing.
Think of the balls to like own up to this.
I mean, Jesse's like a straight up guy, and like it was like I thought it was really nice of him to like.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
But
I can just see where it's going.
No, for sure. No, I agree. Like
I would have, if maybe in the same circumstance,
I just would have left the party.
I would have just rolled out.
Right.
Or you can do like someone else I know. You could clog up like a toilet and then leave whoever came in next, blame it on them.
Oh,
who did that?
I don't know. It happened to me. Person's initials are JF.
JF.
Minutia.
Okay.
Probably cut that part
out. Yeah.
So
where
what?
were
So
we?
it was, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he goes up and does his thing, and I'm cleaning or setting up, whatever. He comes downstairs about maybe 5 minutes or so later, and he hands me a bag and and $20. And
he's making good.
He said, "Sorry, man, it got everywhere, and I ruined your rug." And
my friends growing up would have not done that. That's very nice.
Oh, very nice. Except for my wife saying $20. That set cost $40. And he didn't. When I went back upstairs, he cleaned it up, but I don't know what the hell happened because there was
just smearing.
It was everywhere on the wall, like on my radiator. It was, I don't know how it would be possible to get that much shit in that many places after it's been cleaned up. So I can only imagine the murder scene that it looked before.
You know what we should do?
How does that happen?
I don't know if we have the ability to do this, but it would be awesome if we could like call Jesse right now and have him defend himself on the poop story.
We can. Do you have his number?
Of course.
All right. Well, I can tell the other story if you want to try to get him on the line.
Okay, and we can plug it in.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm a pro at that shit now.
Okay, all right, go for it.
The second actual poop story was somebody came running over to me about 2 hours later and said, "There's a half a turd sitting on your toilet seat." Which is really weird because it's a half a turd. So
I would immediately say it was them because they knew it was half.
Well, it was still there. It was still there.
Yeah. But how'd they know it was half a third? That could have just been.
Oh, I'm going to tell you how I knew. Which my thought was, how can this many people poop at their friend's house during a party? And it was a packed party. I'm talking, there was probably 100 people there. So I run in the bathroom, and it's not on the top. There's a half a turd stuck to the bottom, almost like the toilet seat was up and they were hovering above it, and it cut it like a meat slice. And it just stuck to the toilet. Oh my gosh.
That is so, and this was all at the same party?
Within a couple hours.
Man, this party was doomed from the start.
So the third episode was just it was Easter weekend because my girlfriend's parents were coming over the next morning for Easter breakfast. So
after a party,
I know it wasn't very well planned.
Yeah,
after that kind of party, it was nuts. So I'm like going around in the yard, and picking up bottle caps and cigarette butts, and there's a pile on my sidewalk of human shit. Somebody just took a dump on my sidewalk. And her family was getting ready to be there in like 5 minutes, and I didn't know what to do. So
It's human shit.
so I just picked it up with a shovel and flung it over the fence.
Into that like auto shop.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you knew that it was human?
Because my dog was 8 pounds.
Oh yeah, it was in your yard. Never mind.
And it was on my sidewalk behind
the gate. So,
like it was it was probably only 10 feet away from where everyone was partying. So this guy or girl had some balls. And there was no toilet paper, so they
duked and left.
they just dropped it and rolled.
Super clean.
Anyway,
So I talked to Jesse and I was like, hey buddy, like, you know, do you remember this thing happening? And he like started laughing. He was like, yeah, like so it wasn't the carpet he ruined, it was the toilet seat cover that he ruined. And I was like, awesome. You know, like, and like he was like laughing.
you had
the
toilet seat cover?
you know, my wife bought like a whole set.
It was $40.
Yeah. I mean, it was like bath mats and then the
He
bigger
probably
mat.
did you a favor by getting rid of that, like the thing. Or
So I was like, you know, I was like, oh yeah, so like, you know, can we call you and you can come on and talk about it? He was like, oh yeah, no, I don't really want to talk about it. I was like, all right, I totally understand. But
we almost had our first guest.
almost had our
He
first
could have been our
guest.
first guest. Maybe that would have like took him over.
Oh yeah, maybe I did. Yeah, I didn't pitch that.
Man, that is so crazy that you had 3 poop incidents.
But then never again. Then you know we kept having parties, and I don't think there was another poop incident. For the
those
rest
poopers probably never came back.
I think Jesse
'cause they-
came back.
Probably.
Guys,
no,
it
I
was
don't know.
me. I
No?
did the poops. I wasn't there, but
All right. Well, another great episode. I hope we'll find out. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. But
we'll find out.
We might post it anyway, even if it sucks. We'll see. But thanks again for listening, guys. Everybody, for Jim,
See you guys next week.
Steve,
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, Jim Joe Steve.
Absolutely.
I'm Joe. Jim Joe Steve Show. Have a great day.
Watch out for rapers.
Rapers.